Please help me welcome Tshepo Mokgoto.
Good afternoon. How is the energy? Good afternoon. Are we good? Awesome. How was lunch? Lunch was good. Awesome. As they mentioned, my name is Tshepo Mokgoto, and that long title, it's what I do on a day-to-day, and I'll share with you just in a bit in what I do on a day-to-day. But today, I just wanted to maybe start with sharing with you my journey. Where am I and where am I from? And then just share with you, and then let's see what is it that you can take, and you can come talk to me afterwards if you really want to get more into what I do and what is it that you can learn from me as we go through. So just to start, I'm from Mpumalanga in a place called Bushbuck Ridge, and that's my home. And you can see the cows behind there. I grew up being a head boy, looking after cows and all this stuff. And where I am today was like, I didn't even dream that I'll be here. It was something that I didn't even think I would reach this stage. But somehow, by determination and God's grace, I'm here where I am. And I definitely thank my grandma and my mom and my parents' prayers, because I surely believe they got me where I am today. And that's the rural areas, and I really believe that you can only go as far as where you can see. What do I mean by that is if we don't spend time listening, learning, and checking what's happening out there, you can only go as far as what you can see. So which means we need to broaden what is it that we can see and open our mindset so that we can see further than where we are, so that we can go further than that. I'll show you in my journey. So this is me in the dusty streets of Acorn Hook, as they call it. And I wrote there, and I wrote this in my Go collage that I have, that your background, young man, does not determine your destiny. Meaning I can come from a poor background where I used to look after cattle and all that stuff, but it's possible. I didn't know in the previous picture that I was wearing there, you can see I was wearing a Sasol a jacket, and that was when I was doing grade 10. I didn't even know that I'll work for this organization one day, but somehow that, seeing my brother and some of the guys that were working for this wonderful organization, it sparked something in me and the hunger to study hard and work hard so that I can reach where I am. I studied with a national high certificate in IT, then I did national diploma in IT, then I did BTech in IT, I did masters in business information system, I did postgraduate diploma in business management system, and I just recently submitted my last thesis for my MBA. So that's what I've been studying. You can clap hands. I mean, it takes a lot to get to this, hey? And especially when you're studying, when you're working and you have to study, it's difficult. To juggle all this and having family on this side, having to go to work, having to put in the hours, it was tough. But I'm still determined to study even further and do a whole lot of stuff. But I'm not just studying in the vacuum. There's somewhere where I'm going. I had a dream when I was growing up, and I wanted to be a doctor. One of my friends shared a story like mine. I wanted to be a doctor when I grew up, but I only realized when I was doing grade 11 that I'm so afraid of blood. And then I was wondering, what type of doctor would I be that is so afraid of blood? Can you imagine having to operate somebody and then I'm like, hey guys, can you handle that? I'll come back when you're done and then I'll diagnose and tell what's happening. So I realized then that no, this is not me. And I need to check something that I really love. That's when I fell in love with computers. And that's why I studied what I studied, because I so fell in love with computers and I wanted to know, what is the top job in IT? Who can guess? What is the top job in IT? CIO, yes. Or you could call today, we've got an alternative, we've got what we call Chief Digital Officer, which is sitting right at the top, CIO, CDO, and all that. But today, as they were introducing my title, if you look at my LinkedIn and all this stuff, I'm what they call a Chief Data Officer for Sasol for the energy business. That's awesome, isn't it? Isn't it? One step closer to my goal, one step closer, and I'll reach there. Just one step, then I'm there. Awesome. This is what I've done in my career. I've started as a desktop technician, fixing computers and all that. Then I moved into what we call a data center operator. A data center operator is somebody that looks and watches the screen at night so that as the computers processes and all that, the servers process information, we watch and check what is really happening. If there's alerts, we go fix, and then we call the experts to come fix this. Then I moved into what they call self-functional consultant. That's more a little bit like programming. So started doing that, and then I pivoted. I went and did HR and did some work in payroll as a payroll manager months ago. Then I went and became an applications manager. Then I became a service owner for those systems there, and then I became head of service integration and management. That was like when things started changing around. Being the head of group, meaning for that role, I was responsible for the services here in South Africa, in the whole of Europe and the whole of North America, responsible to run what we call service and integration management, which we call service management in short. Then I moved, and then I became head of group infrastructure and data platform, which means all the computers that Sasol uses here, Mozambique, everywhere, all the servers that we use, all the network that connects all the different areas, all that was in my division that I was responsible for. Whereas years ago, I was just a desktop technician, but I managed to study hard so that I can reach that specific goal. And then today, as I mentioned, then I moved about 3 years ago, heading data and technology office. Really exciting work that I do in that space, and it's really amazing. With that determination and working hard, gave me an opportunity to travel the world. This picture here, you can see me there in that yellow. It was a group of young people before 2020 was even imagined, and they said, oh, we want to grow leaders into the future, and I was picked as one of those young men, and then I was in that picture to say, by 2020, these are the leaders that we expect to see growing into the organization, and I was so privileged. On the right-hand side, the middle picture where I'm wearing a bag, that was Sasol in Germany. I had an opportunity to go visit the Sasol offices in Germany. I was like, wow, this is amazing. A young man from the dusty street of Bushbuckridge in Ekonhoek, being in that office, that's amazing. That's amazing. And I was like, wow, God, this is really great. And on the right-hand side, thank you, you guys are so kind. On the right-hand side, that is the office of Sasol in North America. And I managed to get to there. I was like, again, God, this is so amazing. Started right as a desktop technician, but be able to travel these places and influence what technology needs to do in this great organization called Sasol. And this was really amazing journey for me. But I'm going to leave you guys with some few stuff. Inspiration and mentorship is really important in your journey. It's not really just you working hard and doing your books and all this stuff. You need to stay motivated in all the time. I've got mentors, and every single month I'm sitting in session with great leaders so that I can listen and then I can be helped in terms of my journey. Even now in the career, in wherever I'm doing, I still have mentors and people that I look up to. And every single month, I go in and sit with session. And so that gentleman sitting there, his name is Ruel Khoza. He used to be the chairman of ESCOM. He comes from the same area I come from Bushbuckridge. And when I grew up, I was like, I need somebody that comes from the area that I come from that has made it right to the top. And that's why when he came to speak at one of our events, I was like, I'm capturing this moment because I want to remember one day it's possible, young man. It's possible even if you come from rural areas to reach those great heights. And then I'm part of an organization called ULP, which we call Unleashing Leadership Potential. I do it part-time. I mentor also young people to really make sure that we grow in the skills that we have and we grow into great positions that we aspire to be in the future. As part of the presentation, they ask us to share with you, what does my day look like in a daily basis? Flip, it's too much. I'm responsible for the data office for the whole of Southern Africa. From all the departments that you have in Sasol, I've got a team of people that I work with, and their role we do, one, I've got a team that does what we call data engineering. We're responsible to make sure that all the data that Sasol needs to make decisions, we collect it from whatever, and we bring it together, and we give it to some of the experts for them to be able to do decisions on. So you can imagine there's a role called data engineering. If you didn't know there's such a role, write it down, go research about it, or you can come talk to me afterwards. Data engineering, very good role. And people now, they don't know what they need to do. You could do data engineering. That's really a good course that you could aspire to jump into. I also manage a team of what we call BI specialists, which is business intelligence specialists, where they take the data, they make solutions and decisions on. And we also help in preparing data for what we call advanced analytics, which is the data scientists that create some of these wonderful models that you guys see. So data in the future is one of the roles that you really want to jump into. Whether it's medicine, whether it's electrical, whatever career you're in, data is at the core of what we do each and every day. For a car, for it to be a self-driving car, you know that it's just the multiple data points that gets collected for it to tell you that turn this way. There's something that is giving it the data for it to be able to turn. So there's a bunch of engineers that work behind the scenes to make sure that that data is reliable. Can you imagine if you've got data that's not reliable? What's going to happen? You'll make wrong decisions. Am I right? If the car can't see whether that thing is a tree or it's a person, how does it decide whether it checks and don't hit the person and hit the tree? Where those decisions get made. So we need to make sure that we produce quality data. So that's what I do on a day-to-day. We do data governance. I collaborate with my team. I lead a whole lot of teams in my space, and I partner with a lot of service providers where I give a lot of strategy decisions in terms of what we need to do. And I help develop these leaders in the space to make sure that the team that I have and the team that we have overall in South Africa can do what is really required. And I delegate a lot of work every day. I go in, I check what is happening. I've got a team of plus minus 20, 30 people in India that I wake up every morning. I check in with them for about 15 minutes. Then I jump into another call. There's about 15. Then I jump. My day is all about delegation of these tasks to make sure that we can deliver a lot of services in the space. So it's really an exciting space to be in. And then I do a lot of personal reflection right at the end of the day just to check how things are going and make sure that my team is ready to pick up the following day. And then at the end, I just put there that you need to have what we call integrated life, which is maintain the balance between your work, your family, and whatever it is that you love. You need to have time to really enjoy as a person as you go through. So it's very important to have that balance. My last slide. These are just some of the notes I wanted to give to you. That these are the 3 things that I think you need to do in order for you to follow the IT specialist route, whatever it is, whether it's developer, whether it's data analyst or data engineering or software development and all that. These are some of the stuff that I would like to leave with you. 1, focus on mathematics and computer science and sciences like physical science at high school. Please make sure you choose those subjects. They're very critical. Pursue a bachelor's degree in computer science, information technology, or software engineering, or data science. There's careers in that particular space that you can go into straight from varsity. Then you need to make sure you've got programming skills. Programming skills are very important. You need to make sure that you jump into that. There's some of the languages you can already learn. Master what we call databases. And then you need to understand data warehousing and some of the processes, what we call ETLs. ETL stands for extract, transform, and load the data. You take it, you transform it, then you load it. That's what it means, that ETL that you see there. And big data, it's how do we work with all this data all over coming from multiple areas, whether it's video, it's photos, and it's all that. How do you collect all that? And lastly, seek internship projects and make sure that you got where you can practice your skills and use your skills to do what is really necessary. With that, I want to leave you with this quote. You must be able to identify why you should be the best and not why you are different. We are all different, but if you can determine why you should be the best and focus on that and put all your efforts on being the best, I really believe that only the sky is the limit. I believe you guys will have hope. My name is Tshepo Mokgoto. I hope you're inspired. I hope you have hope and enjoy the rest of the afternoon. God bless.